2, 1. Hi, this is Benandorf, and welcome back to another episode of Crusader Kings 2, The Old Gods. As we last left off, we were preparing an invasion of Mercia, so let's stop preparing and get invading. I'll give it a couple more months before I really go and invade, and it looks like somebody has joined our court. I'm not sure where he came from or why that's really noteworthy, but I guess he's welcome to do so. On the rise of the Shia, the schism of Islam. So it looks like this is a very big event here in 870 to represent exactly what it says, the schism at the heart of Islam. So as the world starts, a lot of these sorts of events have not happened in 867 that have happened before 1066. So it'll be interesting to see this, and I'm glad that it's popped up. It's good to know what's going on in the rest of the world. And another 150 men have joined us. I'm thinking that should be enough, so I'm going to load them onto the longships. If we have enough for mercenaries. Doesn't look like we really do, so I need to pick some leaders. We being the most powerful martial skill leader, I will be taking the middle flank, and then our marshal will take the right, and all three of these are about the same, so I'll choose the one with Brave to take the left, as that will add to morale defense. Alright, so let's load these on to the boat, or the ships, I suppose, and off we go. Look out, Mercia, here come the Vikings. And we are now at war. Let us see who we can call in. King Ivar the Boneless will definitely join us, it looks like. And quickly wiped out that unit. I'm going to sort of sweep through and try and clear out all of these levies before they can get too strong, and then back to Lincoln, or wherever they end up. But for now, back to Jylland, where I'm going to raise all of these levies, as few as there are, and march them across whatever land we need to, so that we can amass the army here in Jylland, so that we can turn around and send them on over to England. One of the earls in Ireland has joined the battle, but we've wiped out another small stack of troops. Again, all sorts of earls of Ireland are interested in fighting against us. As long as none of the major dukes fight us, we should be alright. And we have reached the enemy in Worcester. I can never pronounce any of these. Cornwall's joined in too. And Strathclyde. Wow, we have all sorts of enemies that have flocked to defend their brothers here in England. So once I wipe out these last two units, I'm going to just try and take the petty kingdom of Mercia that is actually held by Mercia. And another earl in Ireland, but another fairly decent victory. Oof. Looks like some mercenaries have just been hired. So that's where I will attack next. No, maybe it wasn't mercenaries. Maybe it's just a pretty decent-sized army. Either way, no match for our army. And we imprisoned a couple, or at least the one prisoner. Found an enemy that we were able to, or just captured an enemy, I should say. And it looks like also, I had missed this in other battles, but you gain a few military technology points from being in a battle, in addition to the normal piety, prestige, and war score. So that's pretty noteworthy, I feel like. And this should be a very short siege. Especially if I'm going to go ahead and assault it, since we have more than the 10 times defense that's really necessary. Ah, and the Varangian Guard has been formed, which was a large unit of Norsemen that fought for the Greek king. So, I guess it's alright that our young men are going over there. Perhaps they'll bring glory back to the homeland. And these armies are still grouping up. I should have had them already do that. That was my mistake. A successful siege. And this next one, I'm going to go ahead and try and wipe out the remaining units of the remaining army Mercia has before they group up with too many of these new before they group up with any of these other stacks that are coming over. If I can beat them piecemeal, I'll have a much easier time than letting them all get full morale and group together. And battle's been joined, having no problems once again of wiping out the British troops, although admittedly taking some casualties. And we've captured a mayor. Pretty good battle there. Let's see. I'm going to go back over to Shrewsbury, take some more of that land there. And these fine gentlemen here in Jylland are finally done, or finally grouped together. So we're going to move them to join the war. After all, why should the prepared invaders have all the fun? Hopefully our allies will actually do something here at some point. It looks like they're really not up to all that much, but they're heading to Clydesdale, so they will take some of this land in Strathclyde, which may give us some extra war score. At the very least, if they win any battles, it will give us some extra score. And there's another very successful battle that just completed, dropping the enemy troops in Mercia down to 200. So now it's just a matter of sieging, as those troops really won't be reinforcing, because in Crusader Kings 2, troops don't reinforce, at least other than mercenaries. So I'm moving this new stack of over 1,000 troops in to take Lincoln. The defending troops of take or get a negative event for them here, and which one is this? Gainsborough. So that is in Lincoln. Good start to that siege. Oof. The King of Scotland has joined us, but thankfully we have a large ally up here in the north that should keep them off our back. At least that's the hope. And success in Shrewsbury. However, what remains of the armies here in Mercia have attacked in the Battle of Boston, have attacked our units in Lincoln. So I'm actually going to move the army here in Shrewsbury to go reinforce, and then probably move to take Hereford. Ugh, a little too late. So I guess I will just group together both of these armies, because the one that just lost in Lincoln is too small to siege much on its own. We've taken another couple prisoners, including one earl, one of the earls of Ireland, and a mayor, and of course fairly successful battle there. Those are the 3 event notifications for taking those people prisoner. And our son has become of legal age. He is Midas touched, which is an excellent, what is it? I guess it's education is what these are, but it's an excellent education. It increases fertility as well as giving tons of stewardship. And let's see if we can't find a good young lady for him to marry. At this point, most of them are way too young. So I'm going to leave him unmarried for the moment. He's just now 16 anyways. Grouping this army back together. So I will follow up and attack the army in Northampton, and then back to Hereford to finish sieging some more of Mercia. Another Earl has joined in against us, but since we have a large army coming from our allies, it shouldn't matter at this point. Though there are plenty of enemies joining against us. I don't know why now of all times, but another Earl has been captured. We're pretty much making a collection of these. Can't wait until the war's over and we can sacrifice one to Odin. Complete wipeout of the troops there in Northampton. So now to siege. And another successful battle, just catching a few little levies here and there. One of the prisoners is complaining. I'll let him rot. He might get sacrificed to Odin, so no need to waste his life yet. Laying siege in Hereford, which gets a good event right from the get-go. And another person is complaining. This one is just an heir to some bishopric, so I'm going to toss him in the oblate. Let him die. Siege is advanced even further. And our son is asking for a fief. So I'll go ahead and give him this island that we took not too long ago. So I'll promise to arrange it, and then before that, I would like to set up someone for him to marry. And looking at just ranking through stewardship, well, let's rank at age. There's no one between 0 and 17. So I'm going to marry off to this 17-year-old right here. Assuming that her father accepts. And then I will give him Rugen, which was the count of Ranop, I believe, before we took it. How quickly I forget names. But and we have a very large siege here now, thanks to our allies, so I'm going to assault. It should be quick and bloody. And our son has gotten married. I'm going to take the prestige rather than the gold, considering that we can, of course, move around and considering that we can raid all of our neighbors, the gold probably shouldn't be that big of an issue. So we're going to reject the gold and take the prestige. And because now my son is married and so won't go off marrying somebody else on his own, I'm going to grant him the landed title, County of Rugen. And unfortunately that opens up a new council position. I'm not sure who. Maybe that was our son that just moved. But I will choose the highest learning as our new seer. And everyone else seems to be in a good place right now, so I'm going to try and once again send the seer to convert Rugen into Norse religion and away from Slavic. And there we go, a successful siege. Going to assault this one as well. Just kind of hope to blitz through these and get to the 100% necessary so that Mercia will give in. Although it looks like most of our war score is from battles, and so it might be a while of occupying to get all of this. But we're making progress, and with this many troops around, and it looks like our friendly or our allied army has actually attached to us, so they will be joining us directly in any battles. They're following whatever we send our army, they will send their large army as well. So I'm going to try and clear out some of these enemy units that are still sitting around in Mercia. That's where all the war score seems to be coming from, so why mess with that? Win through strength of arms rather than strength of siege. That's the Viking way, or so I would assume. And there are plenty of enemy units coming our way, but we're having no problem with them at this point. They're spread out and we're able to take them one at a time. Another successful battle, giving us plenty of, or a bunch of piety and prestige and a little bit of military technology points. I'm just going to keep on moving back and forth, wiping out any units they send to us until there's nothing left to send. And here's a pretty large battle for this time period. 6,000 or 7,000 versus 3,500, but it went pretty much completely in our favor, and we have defended the siege, so get a victory there. Plus a nice 12.5 war score from beating that army. I'll follow up and try and wipe out the next 1,000, which depends on where they're going. Worcester, it looks like. And they're already on the run as soon as I show up, so we'll follow them further and keep on attacking these units until, well, there we go. They are now gone. We need 13% more before we can force a peace. So it may be time to start sieging down some of these places. What probably is the best way to go about it is to figure out which garrisons are the smallest and siege those. So I'm going to wipe out these 75 units and then try and take Warwick, which has a very small garrison. Complete wipeout of those 75. And now I'm going to assault, which was a little costly for us, but not as costly. But we traded for more than one for each of our Viking warriors that fell. And we're at 92%. So going to attack this next one as well. And the next, we finished that siege easily, and the next one only has, oh wow, we only need to wait 24 days. I'll just wait this one out. That should be an easy siege even without assaulting. And that might be enough to put us over 100% too. Yep, puts us right there to 100. So enforcing demands, and we have become the chief of all of these nice little places, as well as whatever the barony title. I don't even know how to begin to pronounce that word, the one that starts with a little P that the head is further down. And we've released a few of our prisoners, it looks like. At least the one. They're making plenty of money now. Let's see. Well, there's really not that much of a reason to keep any land here, considering how small our domain size maximum is. But to start with, I'm going to create a new vassal to give each of these baronies to. And then we'll need to give away, I guess I'll keep this one since it seems like, yeah, it's pretty well upgraded already. And I could create the Duchy of Mercia, which I only have one duchy at the moment. But which of these I'll keep Jarabi, and we'll give away the other four that I Well, the other 3 that I got, because we have these 3 over here, and then just the 1 here in England, which will, of course, put us over the domain size a little bit, but it shouldn't be by too much. On that note, I'm also going to go in here and change some of these laws. First thing, let's see how much our vassals like us. Enough of them are not huge fans of us that I believe it's if a vassal has less than 80% or 80 opinion, dropping down to small levies will increase the actual amount that they will give. Because the amount of levies you have, or maybe it's if they're lower than 45. In which case it's probably, yeah, it's still worthwhile to drop this. It will increase their opinion, and which will in the end actually increase the amount of levies we have. And likewise, on the other hand, increasing the taxes, it actually directly increase taxes as long as there's a positive opinion at all, or maybe even higher than minus 50%, minus 50 opinion. So either way, those laws are worth changing as well. But for now, it'll be another 5 years before I can change another one. So I'll stay at that point. And it looks like this is a lot higher numbers, though I should have compared it directly. And our prepared invasion armies have dispersed back to whence they came. So I'm going to dismiss the personal levies, no reason to keep them up at the moment. And going to go into the find characters to find somebody to give this new land to. So I want them to be male, my religion, and my culture. But other than that, it doesn't really matter. Wow, some of these have very high martial ability, so I'm going to give this guy a bit of land. Give him Hereford. And here's another one that has pretty good stats. So I'll give him Ludlow. Oh, well, is Ludlow... Oh, that one's in Shrewsbury. So we'll give him Shrewsbury. And it'll be Jirabi that I keep, so I need to give Warwick away still. And I think I'll actually find... I'll give that to whoever it is that is here. Oh, where's Warwick? There's Warwick. The mayor that I've created to rule the city of Stafford. So that should be... how to view this person. Sometimes, there we go. So I will give him the title, which might just give us a county level republic to sit underneath us. Once we get to kingdom level, we will have hopefully at least one duchy level republic because they bring in tons of money. So yeah, that will... Oh, I guess until duchy level they don't really do that much, but they still bring in plenty of money, so worthwhile at the very least. And so we have a lot of money again. I'm going to upgrade walls there. I think the first focus needs to be to upgrade the castle towns in as many cities, or as many provinces, as many holdings that I personally own as I can to increase our income. Which may in fact increase further based on domain tax. Yeah. We actually are getting a lower amount of taxes due to the size that we have of a domain. Let's see what it looks like in technology. Our culture is far and away from allowing legalism, and we need level 2 before we're able to get one that actually gives us a higher domain size anyways. So someone has just founded the Independence faction. I'm going to give away the rest of this land here. Or I'll keep Jarabi, but I'll give away the other bits here in the Jutland Peninsula. So let's see who's... I'm going to choose... Make sure they're not rulers. And... This looks like a good choice. High martial skill and low intrigue, so hopefully he won't mess with us and start any factions or anything. So we're going to give away Holstein. And that doesn't change our monthly balance pretty much at all. Need a new chancellor, so going to just give it to the guy with that would be best at the job. And lastly, we'll give Slesvig away. So this guy seems as good a choice as any. I am making these these choices pretty arbitrarily at the moment. But wow, there's the martial power. Now let's see. I don't know why he started this faction if he likes us so much, but I'm going to see if I can't start a plot and get him killed anyways. I'd need somebody to like me more first. Why do all of these... Oh, because they are Catholic. Including this particular... This is one of the counts that I inherited when I took over Mercia. So he was not placed by me. No, I can't imprison him. I wonder if I can... Nope, he won't give me a concubine. And I am not an unreformed... Or I am an unreformed pagan, which means I cannot demand that he convert. Our spymaster found some interesting information in Constantinople, which will give us a nice little boost of technology points. But I'm going to... Let's see, where was that? It's in Worcester. So I'm going to send the seer there to try and convert our count who's so annoyed with us. Perhaps that will allow... perhaps our seer will have more luck there than she had in... Or he had. No, than she had in Rügen. And so we'll be able to convert him and lower the number of internal enemies by 1. And we have a complaining prisoner, so I'm going to toss him in the Oblate as well. And let's see. Next time it's between November and March, I will hold a great blot, which will be very soon. It's July, August. Our money's just slowly ticking up. It has decreased a little bit from giving away those domain or those bits of our realm, but it will increase. It has increased the opinion of our vassals, I imagine. Yes, by quite a bit. So, in the long run, very much worth it. And we have someone sieging. Who is Baird of Norfolk? I don't know, but someone is trying to siege us. I did not think that Norse could attempt to besiege each other. So that is actually pretty surprising. His liege is King Ivar, who is a friend of ours. Or Ivar. I don't know how to pronounce these Norse names. And it's December, or it's now November. So let's hold a blot. I can hardly wait. Everyone, join us. And some of our Christian vassals have given us gold so that they don't have to be to the blot which is, wow, a lot of gold coming in. And some others have just refused to come. But thankfully we did get quite a bit of money from the few that gave us money instead of showing up. We will see who we're going to sacrifice. Looks like the mayor of Wexford is the lucky man. And he is sacrificed to Thor. In fact, both of them will be, giving us plenty of prestige and piety. And now let us celebrate with a big old feast. Oof. Someone got sick and started throwing up. Better him than me. Apparently he drank a little too much. And I'm going to raise all of these levies here in England and start pillaging and raiding our neighbors. Just pretty much as punishment for keeping us as neighbors. So that's a nice big band, 2,500 or so troops. Everyone had a good time at the feast. So, just in time to send all of these troops off to raid. So I'm going to assign some leaders, and then toggle it as looter, and move off to take some money from Christians. The silly Welshmen have raised a small army to try and stop us, but we are far larger than them, and thus it's pretty much a waste of their time. And this second siege, or this second holding, has a very small garrison, which means that we will actually hold out and besiege the whole thing. It'll give us the extra money, as I had talked about last episode. And a pretty wench is throwing herself at me. I'm gonna take the lustful trait. That is life well spent. And the extra fertility is not a bad thing. Although it does not look like this wife is interested in giving me any children. Which is somewhat annoying, but at least our son is having some grandchildren already. So our line of succession is safe, and considering that all pagans that are unreformed have to have Gavelkind, or the Gavelkind system of inheritance, it's probably better that we don't have many sons. And there we go. We finished looting there, gaining another 15 gold. And no casualties from the siege itself. So I'm going to... Wow, it'll only take me 3 days. I'm definitely going to siege down, or 36 days, 3 clicks. Finished another siege there for 20 gold. And I'll finish off this last one. It looks like England's having a bit of issues with civil wars. Better them than me. Thankfully, our king is still young, and if we only have the one heir, then we won't have much of a problem with other civil wars, or with civil wars for seniority or anything. So, maybe I did speak too soon when I was complaining about not having many sons. Anyways, I'm going to stop there for today. We're now the proud owner of a nice chunk of the English countryside, and in a pretty good position to probably challenge Jylland for the crown of Denmark, if not necessarily from this king, the next one. It looks like our ambition to improve stewardship has not done much. I think it may only have the one set of events, which we had already... Well, actually, no, we didn't see any events, did we? I don't know why. Maybe it's just not been in our favor. But anyways, thanks for watching, and check back soon for more Crusader Kings 2, The Old Gods.